Diarmaid Ó CADHLA,
Very good.
an independent candidate in the local elections. So I shall call and talk to you what concerns you might have.
Okay. Well, I actually do have one, because we were recently at a Let's Connect group. It's for kids that are flagged for autism or waiting an assessment or already had an assessment. And the two speech and language specialists at it actually had said, if anybody was calling around, to mention that they're having difficulties with numbers. The speech and language specialist that we actually had seen moved on to a different position in the HSE, and we've been told that that position is not going to be filled. So they said it's going to be an issue. It already is an issue. So I don't know if you are aware of...
I am. You're looking at the brochure. In fact, you'll see I possibly am one of the only candidates here in the area raising these issues about homes where there's disabilities and so on. And there's well over 1,000 homes in county area of Cork identified where there's disabilities in the home or care needs in the home that are not adequately being looked after. But it's a major issue. My own daughter is actually a speech and language therapist, so I hear about this all the time.
Very good, bonus points for that.
And would you believe, like from knocking on doors all over here and everywhere else, the single biggest issue that people are voicing, and we've met loads this morning, believe it or not, is autism. There are people there and they're struggling with domiciliary allowances and carers issues and access to schools and transport. It is an issue all over and causing, I know, a huge hardship. So like that article in the flyer, you'll see I'm a former member of the council, but when this the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities was ratified by our state in 2018, I was like on the floor in Cork County Council arguing about this because they left out the most crucial part, and that's the part which says that people who have those needs in their homes, if they're not being looked after, would have the right to make an official complaint to the state, and failing that, to the United Nations themselves. So this optional protocol is what it's called, has not been ratified, and still today hasn't been ratified. So I've put a commitment in that to say this is what we need to be doing. Is no good telling people you have all these rights if you can do nothing about them and they're not delivered upon.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like people have that experience and that needs to be aired, and it's not being aired. So I'm hoping this will give us a plus.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, because to the extent of my knowledge, you are supposed to be my voice, and if you already have an understanding of that alone, that's already an amazing
I'm
insight.
putting this at my voice to the people. I'm putting that on my brochure, because that's what it is. People don't have a voice, and especially families that are vulnerable, they even have less voice, and maybe because of that they're walked upon, because they don't have this cohesiveness. They're not identifiable as a sector, which can be lobbied and lobby and therefore affect the political parties and so on. So I'm independent, as I said, but these political parties, the big established ones, they've ruled the state for over a century, and we are today where they brought us, which is that families, don't mind even carers issues, families are not being looked after, and they need to be looked after. And it's not a question of lack of resource in the state. The state has plenty of resource. It's a question of who's making the decisions and on what basis, what they decide to deploy resource to, and their priorities are wrong. It's not people orientated, I think. So I mean, I'm glad to have met you.
That worked out amazing. Jessica,
thank you.
Cheers, Diarmaid. Thank you so much.
Would you please spread the word?
I will, absolutely. Actually, that was a lovely chat. I'm actually delighted I asked that question, because
well, it is a big thing. This is why I made a special place for it. It's
and sorry, did you say that you've actually already been on the council?
Yes, I was a member of the council. I pulled back. I had an issue with my own health, so but I'm okay. Thankfully, I've recovered and willing to fight and wishing to fight, because I'm being driven to that. There is a need for someone to cry halt. I think I have a talent in that. We all have talents, but I think I have a particular talent that I can speak, and that I know how the system here works, and therefore will push for change there, as I've done before when I was in it. And that's all on the public record. People can check that. It's not I'm not making a loose claim.
Loads to read there.
All right, Jessica. Thanks. Here's a #1 vote.
Yes, I will.
Thanks a million.
Thanks, guys.